Okay, ji, be attentive. Settle down. Okay, ji. So, okay, जी बातें ना करें बस काइंडली लैपटॉप वगैरह क्लोज कर दी तमाम लोग. Okay, today's lecture outcomes. Actually, previously we discussed a bit of data structures, in which we have seen how we can organize our data. Like I quoted the example that if I just display the average for an assessment to students, would that be enough? Okay? If I just display average of a quiz at column to all the students, would that be enough, or you require your individual marks as well? So answer was, of course, individual marks are also required, but for that we have to save those marks somewhere. In order to save those marks, we need to have that much number of memory locations, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So in order to create or declare 50 variables, or if we are talking about the other syndicate as well, or if the faculty member is also teaching other departments with other syndicates, so it will be an enormous number of variables. So in order to cater for all, in order to manage this data, in order to organize this data, we need to have a data structure. There are many data structures by which we can organize our data. Arrays is one of them. We have discussed a bit of trees, linked list, queues. There are many data structures available for our utility. But before going into the details of a particular data structure array, I like to emphasize upon few of the topics which we haven't studied yet formally. तो वो हम quickly with examples एक दफा देख लेते हैं, then we'll move to arrays. The break statement is the one in which structure we have already used this. Switch. So what actually breaks has performed the function. If we just write break, तो क्या होता है? जी, क्या खत्म हो जाए? Out of the loop, out of the structure. We can use break anywhere. In if, else, while, do while, for. कहीं भी आप देखें break, we come out of the structure. So we'll discuss break. Its counterpart is continue. We will see the difference between the two with an example, then an example pertaining to nested loops, and then we will come to our data structure part. So first of all, break. Just correlate everything has been derived from the real world. Just correlate real world example, and then we will see that is that happening over here as well. For example, you want to search a book in a book rack, and there are, let's say, 10 books in a particular rack, and you are searching. If you have found that book, would you like to continue your research? You definitely want to stop that search at that particular time. Of course, in order to save your time is form of a resource. So likewise, for example, in main function, if we want to have roll number 3, if you have found roll number 3, we don't want to continue the search. Search starts from 1 and goes up till 5. We have to search all of these. Break condition, I equal to 1, I is less than equal to 5, true. True or false with I value 1? False. That is clear. What is the value? Control goes over here. I becomes true. True or false? False. True. I becomes 3. True. True or false? True. Break. True. This is the value you are looking for. So once we have found it, loop is there till 5. But once 3 is equated, there is a break statement, break the loop and come out of this. So the output would be only this. Yeah, the break the concept. You can use it anywhere, depends upon your requirement. If you have found something, just break it. Like we have seen in the example of switch structure. If any of the case has been equated, we have met some case, it takes you immediately out of the switch. आपने practice भी की होगी इस चीज की. Now what if a real world example again कि for example first semester का result आ गया, every student has been displayed the result except few students, for example due to n number of reasons. It could be कि आपके जो deficient documents आपने जमा नहीं कराया अभी तक, ठीक है, ये लेवल का सर्टिफिकेट नहीं कराया, कुछ भी वो आप जमा कराएंगे तो आपको रिजल्ट डिस्प्ले होगा. तो फॉर एग्जांपल 1 2 3 5 6 9 10 11 13 14, तो इसमें कुछ रोल नंबर मिसिंग है, isn't it? How to implement this type of scenario? To display everything except 4 8 12 जो मिसिंग है, ऑफ कोर्स 7. ये जो टाइप ऑफ सिनेरियो, अब इसमें ब्रेक नहीं है. 1 2 3 4 का ब्रेक हो तो सिर्फ ये डिस्प्ले होगा, बट यू वांट टू डिस्प्ले rest of the students result except few. So in such a scenario we will implement the same program with continue, and let's examine what's the difference. Let's try run it rather. So हमने ब्रेक की जगह क्या लिख दिया अभी? Now let's see. I equals to 1, I less than equal to 5, true condition is continue, of course. True or false? I की वैल्यू 1 है. False. क्या डिस्प्ले होगा? 1. I becomes 2. 2 is less than equal to 5. False. 2. 3. True. Continue. We will skip remainder of the loop. Whatever you have written beneath it. It could be one statement. It could be n number of statements. It could be 10. जो भी continue के बाद है, body of the loop वो skip हो जाएगी, and your control will move on to the next iteration, which means 3 print नहीं होगा in this scenario. और I कहाँ हो जाएगा? 4. 3 print नहीं होगा. Now 4, true or false? True. False. Display. 5. True. Display. 3 पे 3 को display नहीं करता. So that has been implemented. So using continue actually skips remainder of the loop. Whatever is left beneath continue वो तमाम skip हो जाता है, and the control moves on to the next iteration. Break just breaks it altogether. Whatever point you have encountered, the control encountered the break statement, you comes out of the structure immediately. No further increments, decrements. That's it. But continue, as the name is implicating, it will continue the loop to the next iteration. क्यों ये बात समझ आई? अब यहाँ पर कोई ये क्वेश्चन नहीं कर रहा कि लेट्स से ये वाला सिनेरियो इंप्लीमेंट कर रहा है, एक से ज्यादा नंबर पे कंटिन्यू ले, तो क्या करें? यहाँ और लगा दें I exactly equal to 3 or I exactly equal to 7 or I exactly equal to 8. इनमें से कोई भी नंबर आए तो और क्यों ये क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं, और ही आप लगेंगे ना कि ये 3 है या 8 है या 12 है, इनमें से कोई भी नंबर हो तो कंटिन्यू कर दे, उसको डिस्प्ले नहीं करना, एंड तो नहीं करेंगे. ऑफ कोर्स वो सारे ट्रू होंगे, वो तो इम्पॉसिबल है, एंड तो चलेगा ही। अभी भी कोई क्यूरी है, यू हैव समवन विद द क्यूरी, you clearly break continue, you can use it anywhere, it's not mandatory कि break को आपने switch में use करना है या continue use, you can use anywhere, depends upon your requirement। तो इसकी आउटपुट क्या है? here is the output, 1 2 3 has been skipped, 4 and 5। अच्छा, इसके अलावा एक और सिनारियो, लेट्स डिस्कस द नेक्स्ट सिनारियो नाउ। Real world scenario. We always start from the real world, isn't it? You can see the things happening around you and correlate it with the programming. If you go in a shopping mall, it has 2 towers, couple of towers. You go inside the first tower, number of floors inside the first tower. Then you have number of floors inside the second tower, isn't it? Number of shops in each floor. So आपको ये तमाम कंप्यूटेशन करने के लिए कितने लूप्स चाहिए? First loop will continue the number of towers. Second will calculate, compute the number of floors, let's say within first tower. Third will continue, compute the number of shops within each floor. You can nest it as many times you want. ये वो कॉन्सेप्ट है लूप इनसाइड लूप। रियल वर्ल्ड में अगर आपने इस तरह का काम करना है तो इट कैन बी ओनली इम्प्लीमेंटेड यूजिंग नेस्टेड लूप्स, लूप इनसाइड अनदर। कॉलेज ऑफ ईएमई, हाउ मेनी डिपार्टमेंट्स? 6। बेसिक साइंसेज और इंजीनियरिंग मैनेजमेंट भी है, जो आपको मैथ्स, इंग्लिश, बेसिक साइंसेज, प्रोफेशनल एथिक्स, इंजीनियरिंग इकोनॉमिक्स आप आगे चल के पढ़ेंगे। तो टोटल लेट्स से 6 डिपार्टमेंट, क्लासरूम्स इन एवरी डिपार्टमेंट। So one loop is counting the number of departments, second loop is counting classrooms in every department, number of syndicates in every department. You can nest it as much you can. इसको आप प्रोग्रामिंग में कोरिलेट कर सकते हैं हम कि जी फॉर एग्जांपल हाउ मेनी रोज, 5 रोज, हर रो में कितने स्टेरिक्स, आर यू गेटिंग द कॉन्सेप्ट? तो कितनी लूप्स होगी? One is counting the number of rows, the other will count the number of statics each row, isn't it? तो ये इस तरह का कॉन्सेप्ट है, ये हमें ऑफ कोर्स नेस्टेड लूपिंग से ही हम इसको इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं। तो एक्चुअली ये इसी टाइप का पैटर्न हमने बनाना है। लेट्स ड्राई रन इट एंड अंडरस्टैंड हाउ नेस्टेड लूपिंग एक्चुअली वर्क्स। ये आपने लैब में भी थोड़ा किया है, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
समझ आ गया?
Yes.
गुड, तो आपका ज़्यादा रिफ्रेश हो जाएगा नॉलेज। So rows is 4, columns are 3. So once has been decided one thing, 5 rows and 3 columns. It's not an array. You can start it from 1 and go up till 5. You have started it from 1 and go up till 3. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, and 3. So rows is scattered by I, the column is scattered by J. So how many rows? I equal to 5, I is less than rows 5. How many columns? J is 1, J is less than increment, decrement. For dry running, let's have the value of each variable over here in each iteration. So the value of I is 1 and J is of course 1 at the moment. If I is 1, I is less than equal to 5, true. Now you are inside the body of this for. Inside the body of this for we have another for. ये बात समझ आ रही सब? Inside the body of this for we have another for, and inside the body of this for we have a single stator to display the static. Now I is 1, this is true, now you are over here. So J is 1, as you can see on the board. 1 is less than equal to 3. See out. Static. So we are done with this static. Okay, next. Static display हो गया. Now what's next? Increment J. J becomes 2. So the value of J is 2. 2 is less than equal to 3. True or false? Display. Increment J becomes 3. 3 is less than equal to 3. True. Display. J becomes 4. True or false? False. Come out of this loop. क्या control दो? New line. So your control is over here. New line. इसके बाद क्या होगा? First की body पूरी execute हो गई है. I becomes 2. Now we are talking about I. So I is 2 over here. So for 1, 1, 2, 3. For 1, first row, 1, 2, 3. Now we are talking about second row. Now I is 2. 2 is less than equal to 5. 2 or 2. J equals to 1. Again, J is now reinitialized from 4 to 1. So 1 is less than equal to 3. True. क्या display? How many times?
3 times.
And L. New line. Now you are over here. Increment pairing. I becomes 3. So 1, 2, 3 for J. Now I becomes 3. 1, 2, 3 for this row as well. I becomes 4. 1, 2, 3. I becomes 5. 1, 2, 3. Now I is 5. True or false? 5. True. I again 1. Sorry, J again 1. How many times? 3 times. New line. I becomes 6. True or false? तो ये आपके सामने पूरा पैटर्न डिस्प्ले हो जाएगा. ठीक है, सबको समझ आया? तो इसकी जो आपने प्रैक्टिस की है लैब में उसको फर्दर एनहांस करें और इस तरह के कोई भी रियल वर्ल्ड सिनेरियो भी आप पिक कर सकते हैं. देखिए हर डिपार्टमेंट में इक्वलेंट नंबर ऑफ क्लासेस तो नहीं है. बात समझ रहे हैं? हर फ्लोर पे मे भी इक्वलेंट नंबर ऑफ शॉप्स ना हो. हर रो पे मे भी इक्वलेंट नंबर ऑफ स्टेरिक्स ना हो. Isn't it? अकॉर्डिंगली आप उसको फिर डिस्प्ले करेंगे. ठीक है, इसकी आउटपुट दी. हियर इज द आउटपुट. ठीक है, नहीं बेसिक साइंसेस क्यों ह्यूमैनिटीज में कंसिडर. मैकेनिकल देखिए, मैकेनिकल इज प्योर अबाउट मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग ओवरऑल करिकुलम है, मगर वो हमें एज अ सपोर्टिंग डिपार्टमेंट पढ़ाते हैं वो चीज़. ठीक है, वो कंसिडर होती है एज पार्ट ऑफ कॉलेज ऑफ ईएम. मगर आपके करिकुलम में इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी कोर्सेज होते हैं. करिकुलम में तमाम चीज़ों के कोर्सेज हैं. ठीक है, तो कोई इसमें ऐसे हंसने वाली बात नहीं थी. वैसे